Good morning, students. Today we are going to deal with the charts, pathology charts, which is given behind your practical record book. Today we are going to deal with charts 1 to 5. Now, coming to chart number 1, 16-year female complaining of generalized weakness, easy fatigability, history of menarche 2 years back, and heavy menstrual flow since then. Local examination, pallor is present, 2 plus, koilonychia is there. Systemic examination, all is under normal limits. Investigations, HB is 6.2, PCV is 25%, total leukocyte count is 7,000, and differential count is all normal. So here the peripheral smear is showing microcytic hypochromic anemia. So in this chart, in this case, you can see 16-year-old female patient with generalized weakness, easy fatigability, history of menarche, and she has a heavy menstrual flow. Now here the important points are she's having pallor, which is 2 plus, koilonychia is there, her HP is drastically low, that's only 6.2, PCV also is low, 25%, and peripheral smear is showing microcytic hypochromic anemia. So this is a clinical. So here the diagnosis is microcytic hypochromic anemia, and what is the questions are, what is your probable diagnosis? Calculate the blood indices, and the third question is specific test for confirmation. Now coming to calculate the red blood cell indices, first one is the MCV, mean corpuscular volume. MCV is calculated by PCV divided by RBC count. So the normal volume of MCV is between 77 to 93 femtoliters. The second red blood cell indices is mean corpuscular hemoglobin, or MCH. MCH is calculated by HB divided by the RBC count. So the normal MCH is between 27 to 32 picogram. The third red blood cell indices is mean corpuscular hemoglobin concentration, MCHC, which is calculated by HB divided by PCV. The normal value is between 30 to 35 grams per deciliter. So since MCHC is independent of red cell count and size, it is considered to be of greater clinical significance as compared with other absolute values. It is low in iron deficiency anemia but is usually normal in macrocytic anemia. Now, what are the important points of red cell indices? Here you can see in iron deficiency anemia and thalassemia, MCV, MCH and MCHC are reduced. In anemia due to acute blood loss and hemolytic anemias, MCV, MCH and MCHC are all within normal limits. In megaloblastic anemias, MCV is raised and above the normal range. Now the specific test for confirmation of microcytic hypochromia anemia is a bone marrow examination. So what are the salient hematological findings you can see in microcytic hypochromic picture is that hemoglobin is essential feature we can see there is a fall in hemoglobin and up to a variable degree. The red cells in the blood film are hypochromic and they can be microcytic, and there is anisocytosis and poikilocytosis. Hypochromy generally precedes the microcytosis. The target cells will be there, elliptical forms and polychromatic cells are often present. When iron deficiency is associated with severe folate or vitamin B12 deficiency, you will get a dimorphic picture occurring with dual population of red cells, macrocytic as well as microcytic hypochromic. Now come to reticulocyte count in microcytic hypochromic anemia. The reticulocyte count is normal or can be sometimes reduced. Absolute value, that the red cell indices will show diminished MCV, diminished MCH and reduced MCHC. The leukocytes are usually total and differential white cell count is usually normal, but in iron deficiency anemia associated due to any parasitic infestation such as hookworm, there will be associated eosinophilia. Platelet count is usually normal but may be slightly to moderately raised in patients who have had recent bleeding. Now this is a blood picture of the red cell morphology where you can see the normal red blood cell, but in a patient who is having iron deficiency anemia, the red cell morphology will be microcytic hypochromic red cell. Whereas what happens in the bone marrow? In the bone marrow you can see a normal patient have normoblastic cells, whereas iron deficiency anemia patient will have micronormoblastic cells. Coming to chart number 2, here 40 years male complaining of tingling and numbness in feet, stomatitis, glossitis is there. On general examination, he is having pallor, tongue is smooth, beefy red, Investigations HB is 7.8, MCV is raised 105, MCH is 30 picogram, MCH is 29. Peripheral smear shows macrocytic hypochromic RBCs, hypersegmented neutrophils, platelets, and moderately reduced. So here the question is, what is your diagnosis? Second question is, what are the bone marrow findings? And third is special test. So this is a clinical picture of megaloblastic anemia. A megaloblastic anemia patient will be present with the complaining of tingling and numbness in the feet, stomatitis, glossitis, pallor will be there, the tongue will be smooth, beefy red. You can see the HB is 7.8, which is very low. MCV is in the higher limit, it's 105. MCH is 30, which is also high, and MCHC is 29. And in the peripheral smear, there is macrocytic hypochromic RBCs, hypersegmented neutrophils, and platelets are moderately reduced. Now, what are the clinical features of vitamin B12 deficiency? Patient will have anemia, glossitis, neurological manifestations, which is in the form of subacute combined degeneration of the spinal cord and peripheral neuropathy, whereas in folate deficiency, patient have developed neuropathy only. Other underlying pathological process consists of demyelination of the peripheral nerves, spinal cord, and cerebrum. Signs and symptoms include numbness, paresthesia, weakness, ataxia, poor finger coordination, and diminished reflexes. Other clinical features of megaloblastic anemia: patient will have mild jaundice, angular stomatitis, purpura, melanin pigmentation, symptoms of malabsorption, weight loss, and anorexia. Coming to bone marrow findings, here in a patient of megaloblastic anemia, marrow cellularity will be decreased, ME ratio. Marrow will be hypocellular with decreased ME ratio. Erythropoiesis, you can see the megaloblasts are abnormal, large, nucleated erythroid precursors having high MC ratio. Then the nuclei will be large, having fine sieve-like and open chromatin that stains lightly. Other cells, you can see giant forms of metamyelocytes and band cells may be present in the marrow. Megakaryocytes are usually present in normal number but may be occasionally be decreased. The fourth finding in the bone marrow is the iron. Prussian blue staining for iron in the marrow shows increase in the number and size of iron granules in the erythroid precursors, and iron is in the reticulin cells is increased. Whereas chromosomes, marrow cells may show variety of random chromosomal abnormalities such as chromosome breaks and centromere spreading. So here in this peripheral smear as well as bone marrow finding, you can see in the peripheral smear there will be hypersegmented neutrophils, Howell jewel bodies, basophilic stippling, Cabot rings, and macrocytosis. Whereas in the bone marrow, you can see there are myeloid cells and plenty of megaloblast. Now here, test for vitamin B12 deficiency. The normal range of vitamin B12 is 280 to 1000 picogram per milliliter, and the special test employed to establish vitamin B12 deficiency is to know the serum vitamin B12 assay and Schilling test, which is a 24-hour urinary excretion test, and also serum enzyme levels. Coming to chart number 3, here you can see a 4-year-old child presented with anemia, jaundice, hepatosplenomegaly, and frontal bossing. On investigations, HB is 5 grams, PCV is 16, total leukocyte count is 25,000, differential count is 40 neutrophils, 45 lymphocytes, eosinophils are 3, retic count is 10%, serum bilirubin is 7, and conjugated bilirubin is 0.5, and urine is urobilinogen positive. And peripheral smear is showing microcytic hypochromic anemia. So this is a preclinical here. So here the diagnosis is thalassemia. To say thalassemia, here you can see it's a 4-year-old child. It is a child who's having anemia, jaundice, hepatosplenomegaly is there, and frontal bossing is a very important point here. HB is very low, 5. PCV is 16, it's also very low. The total leukocyte count is high, that is 25,000. And you can see there is neutrophils are also high. Retic count is 10%, which is increased, whereas also the jaundice level is also increased. Now here the questions are: what is your diagnosis, what is a confirmatory test, and prevention. Now thalassemia is a diverse group of hereditary disorders in which there is a reduced rate of synthesis of one or more of the globin polypeptide chains. Thus, thalassemias, unlike hemoglobinopathies, which are qualitative disorders of hemoglobin, thalassemia is a quantitative abnormality of polypeptide globin chain synthesis. What are the clinical features? Patient will have anemia, starts appearing within the first 4 to 6 months of life when the switch from gamma chain to beta chain production occurs. Marked hepatosplenomegaly will be there, occurring due to excessive red cell destruction, extramedullary hematopoiesis, and iron overload. Expansion of the bone occurs due to marked erythroid hyperplasia, leading to thalassemic facies and malocclusion of the jaw. And fourth point is that iron overload due to repeated blood transfusion causes damage to the endocrine organs, resulting in slow rate of growth and development, delayed puberty, diabetes mellitus, and damage to the liver and heart. Now, the confirmatory test for thalassemia is osmotic fragility done by Nestroff, that is naked eye single tube rapid osmotic fragility test. It characteristically reveals increased resistance to saline hemolysis, that is decreased osmotic fragility. Now here in this clinical picture you can see this is a peripheral blood smear of beta thalassemia major, where you can see normoblast, schistocytes are there, platelets, microcytosis is there, and plenty of target cells. Now the prevention of thalassemia. Finally, since thalassemia is an inheritable disease, its prevention is possible by making an antenatal diagnosis. This is done by chorionic villus biopsy or cells obtained by amniocentesis and fetal DNA studied by PCR amplification technique for presence of genetic mutations of thalassemia. Now coming to chart number 4. Here you can see is a 1-year-old child presented with delayed milestones, anemia, ulcers on the leg, history of repeated infection. Investigations: HB is 6.8, total leukocyte is 12,700, differential count neutrophils are very high, that is 76%, and peripheral smear shows microcytic hypochromic RBCs, target cells are there, Howell-Joel bodies are there, and occasional sickle cells. This is a case of sickle cell anemia. To say this is the case of sickle cell anemia, you can see 1-year-old child, repeated infections, ulcers on the leg, delayed milestones. HB is 6, which is very low. Total leukocyte count is high because of the infections. High, 12,700 is high, and neutrophils are also very high. Now here the questions are: what is the diagnosis and what is a confirmatory test? Now in a case of sickle cell diseases, what are the clinical features? Patient can have stroke, retinopathy, anemia, aplastic crisis, infections, acute chest pain, acute abdominal pain, splenic atrophy, hematuria, priapism, and chronic leg ulcers, ischemic necrosis of the bone. And on microscopy you can see the sickle cell anemia showing crescent shaped cells, elongated red blood cells, few target cells, and a few erythroblasts. Now laboratory findings for diagnosis of sickle cells is moderate to severe anemia, that is 6 to 9. The blood film shows sickle cells, target cells, and splenic features of splenic atrophy such as presence of Howell-Joel body. Positive sickling test with the reducing substance such as sodium metabisulfite. Hemoglobin electrophoresis shows no abnormal HbA but shows predominant of HbS and 2 to 20% of HbF. So here the confirmatory test for sickle cell is the sickling test or sickle cell test. So here the method is you mix 1 drop of blood with 1 drop of 2% sodium metabisulfite solution on a microscopic slide. The sample should be a fresh blood in any anticoagulant, and here the principle is that sodium metabisulfite reduces the oxygen tension, inducing the typical sickling of the cells, sickling of the red blood cells. Now, chart number 5 is 22-year-old male complains of fatigue, weakness, repeated epistaxis, and upper respiratory tract infections. HB is 4.3, total count is 3,300, differential count is neutrophils are 28, lymphocyte is high 70, eosinophils 2, platelet count is 34,000, and peripheral smear shows normocytic normochromic red blood cells with occasional macrocytosis. WBC is reduced with relative lymphocytosis and platelet is reduced, and bone marrow aspiration shows dry tab. So here is a diagnosis of pancytopenia or aplastic anemia. To say this is a case of pancytopenia or aplastic anemia, in the chart there are possible important points. So the first point they tell is 22-year-old male is an adult who is having fatigue and weakness, repeated epistaxis, and upper respiratory infections. His HB is very low. His total count is very low, 3300. Differential count, lymphocytes are high, and platelet count also is 34,000, which is also very low. So here all the 3 cell lineages, that is RBCs, WBC and platelets, are reduced. This is a clear-cut picture of pancytopenia. And on bone marrow examination, it has a dry tap. Now here the questions are: what are the etiological factors? What is the confirmatory test? Now, what are the causes of aplastic anemia? Primary aplastic anemia is most commonly caused by Fanconi's anemia, which is congenital, immunologically mediated, it is acquired. Secondary aplastic anemia are caused by drugs, which includes methotrexate, daunorubicin, busulfan, nitrosourea, anthracyclines. Idiosyncratic aplasia with example chloramphenicol, sulfa drugs, phenylbutazone, fluorpromazine, gold and gold salts. Toxic chemicals like benzene derivatives, insecticides, arsenics. Infections like hepatitis B, Epstein-Barr viruses, AIDS and other viral illnesses. Miscellaneous like association with SLE and therapeutic X-rays. Clinical feature of aplastic anemia is anemia will be there with symptoms with mild progressive weakness and fatigue, hemorrhage from various sites due to thrombocytopenia such as skin, nose, gums, vagina, bowel and occasionally in the CNS and retina. Infections of the mouth and throat are commonly present. The lymph nodes, liver, spleen are generally not enlarged. The laboratory findings of aplastic anemia, you can see hemoglobin levels are moderately reduced. Blood picture generally shows normocytic normochromic anemia, but sometimes macrocytosis may be present. The reticulocyte count is reduced or zero. The leukopenia will be there, that is granulocyte count is particularly very low with relative lymphocytosis. Neutrophils are morphologically normal, but their alkaline phosphatase score is very high. Patient also have thrombocytopenia, which is platelet reduced platelet count. And on bone marrow examination, we will get a bone marrow aspirate will be having a dry tap. A refined biopsy is generally essential for making the diagnosis, which reveals a patchy cellular areas in hypocellular or aplastic marrow due to replacement by fat. There is usually a severe depression of myeloid cells, megakaryocytes and erythroid cells, so that the marrow chiefly consists of lymphocytes and plasma cells. Hematopoietic stem cells bearing CD34 marker are markedly reduced or absent. So here the confirmatory test for aplastic anemia is a bone marrow biopsy. Thank you.